Okay, hi, good evening. So thank you for joining. Okay, so my name is Mr. Karthik and welcome to Problem Sums Mini Course Lesson 2 for Term 4, right? Okay, so a brief introduction. We are from Math Accelerator Center and we're located at 1 Marine Parade Central. So we specialize in mathematics and we help you to turn your results around within a short period of time. Okay, so what are our objectives here for today? So it's basically to help you if you're struggling with problem sums and to improve your confidence. So what do we mean by improving your confidence? So there are problem sums where sometimes it's just too wordy or just too many complicated information, right? So we'll teach you how to dissect it, okay? So for primary schools, right? Okay, so it's meant for you to prepare for your term 3 weighted assessment and term 4, okay? All right, lesson outline. So what are we doing today? So today we're learning how to solve trending problem sums, okay? So it's split into 3 levels. So the first level consists of 3 questions. Second level consists of three more questions. And the third level will consist of 2 questions, all right? So as we go by the levels, it will get slightly difficult, all right? Okay, so before we begin, some ground rules. So audio will be muted at all times. All right, so if you want to ask questions, just ask it on the chat, okay? No spamming of the chat. And lastly, just listen attentively and take down as many things as you can, all right? Okay, so let's get right into it. All right. Okay, so this is the overview of what we are doing today. So do you all have your worksheets printed out? Okay, if you don't, right, it's fine. Don't go and print out now. You just copy down the solutions, then later go and download it from the email. Okay, so let's get right into it. Starting off at level 1 based questions, all right? Okay. Desmond has some marbles. If he shares the marbles among 3 friends, he will have 2 marbles left. If he shares the marble among 5 friends, he will need 4 more marbles. Okay, I understand in your worksheet, this is 3, right? This one over here. If this is 3, can you change it to 4, please? I repeat, in your worksheets, if this number is 3, can you change it to 4? Okay, change it to 4 already? Okay. He'll need 4 more marbles. So what is the smallest number of marbles he has? Okay. Okay, so this person here, right, if he has this amount of marbles, right? If he shares the marble among 3 friends, he will have 2 marbles left, which means, let's say this guy with this much of marbles, right? After sharing among 3 people, he will have 2 left, correct? So this whole thing here is the total marbles. Okay. Total marbles. All right, so look at this portion here where he shared among his 3 friends, right? If he can share among his 3 friends, like just nice, okay? Don't you think that this number here is a multiple of 3? Okay. Now let's look at the second scenario. Okay, second scenario, I draw in green. Now in the second scenario, it says that if he shares the marble among 5 friends, he will need 4 more marbles. So what does that mean? So let's say this one, right? If he has to share among his 5 friends, then he will need 4 more marbles, which means this value here, minus 4, will give you the total marbles as well. Okay, so don't you think this number here has to be a multiple of 5? Okay, so once you establish this, right, now we have to guess and check. Okay, Now let's look at the first scenario. Multiples of 3, right? So let's write down 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, let's give it a try. Okay, you want the smallest possible number, right? So let's give it a try. Okay, so now if we add 2 to each. So this one will become 5, this one will become 8, this one will become 11, this one will become 14. Okay, so this part here is your total marbles, but you do not know which one yet, right? Okay, now let's look at the second scenario. Second scenario is multiples of 5. 5, 10, 15, and 20. So now if we minus 4. So in minus 4, this becomes 1. This becomes 6. This becomes 11. And this becomes 16. So this is also your total marbles. So in these two scenarios, which one has the same number? 11, right? So therefore, you can conclude that the smallest possible number of marbles is 11. Okay, hold on, guys. Okay, if you're done copying, let's move on to the next question. Mrs. Lee bought some pens from a bookshop during a sale. She received a total of 12 free pens. Can you highlight 12 free pens? So how much did Mrs. Lee pay for her purchase? Okay, now if you look at this question, it says that if you buy 8 pens, so let's write down here buy and free. So if you buy 8 pens, you will have 2 free pens, right? You want to write down here pens and pens. So the clue that you only have is from the 12 free pens. So for every 8 pens I buy, I have 2 pens free, correct? So if I have 12 pens, how many of this set do you think this person would have bought till she reaches 12 pens? Okay, so to find it out, you take 12 pens, you divide by the 2 pens. You will get 6 sets, which means 6 of these sets will accumulate to 12 pens. Okay, so you times 6 here. All right then, so think one set costs 690, correct? So I have to accumulate 6 sets to reach 12 free pens. So we take 690 and then you times 6. So how much did Mrs. Lee pay for her purchase? Can you go and find out and let me know the answer? Okay, once you're done finding answer, can you type in the chat? Okay, yeah, correct. It's $41.40. That's all. That's the answer. Okay, for those of you who got it wrong, let's take 690 times 6. Learn how to do this. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 9 is 54. So put the 4, put the dot down, and put the 5 up. 6 times 6 is 36, plus 5, it's 41. Therefore, it's $41.40. Okay, right then. So let's move on to the next question. Okay, put a star near this question. It's a very popular question. It will always appear, this kind of questions, all right? So I believe I told this y'all last week. The exact thing. Write down. Okay, you link or associate length with breadth. Okay, associate length with breadth. So what do I mean by this? Now, if you look at this diagram, right, it's made up of 5 identical rectangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are the same rectangle, right? So it consists of a length and breadth. So what I would like to do is I'd like to put down B over here, B over here, B, B, here also B, 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 and here also B, B, B. Okay, so once I put this, right, I'm trying to identify as many breadth as I can over here. Okay, so to point it to you clearly, right, I'm just going to erase some of it. Okay, now you know that the length, okay, write down length is 24 cm. Now, if you look down below here, right, you would realize that the tree breadth over here adds up to 24 cm as well. Okay, so I only write down 3 breadth equals to 24 cm. So right here, right, what we just did is we just, okay, hold on, sorry. Okay, so right here, what we just did is we just associated length with breadth. So once you draw that link, right, now you can go and easily find out what is 1 breadth. So 1 breadth is 24 cm divided by 3. So this is 8 cm. All right then, so we just found out the breadth is 8 cm, right? Which means this little part here is 8 cm. So what is the area of the shaded part? The area of the shaded part is basically the area of one of the rectangles, right? So write down area of shaded part equals to just the area of one rectangle, which is 24 cm times 8 cm. So 24 times 8, can you type answer? Yeah, what about the rest? Yep, well done. Yes, it's 192 cm squared. Okay, well done. It's good to see a lot of you got this question correct. Keep it up. Okay, now let's move on to the next set of questions. Let's go to level 2. Okay, so to understand level 2 first, right? All right. Now let's say I got 3,422, a number, and I want you to round it off to the nearest thousand. So if I want you to round it off to the nearest thousand, I have to identify where the thousands place is, right? So once I identify where the thousands place is, I have to look at the next number and round it off accordingly. Agree? So a stamp collector has about 2,000 stamps. Find the greatest possible number of stamps he has before it was rounded off to the nearest thousand. So there was a number which, when rounded off, you got 2,000 in the end. So since you're rounding off to the nearest thousand, you have to look at the number that is beside it. Okay, so from here we can go both paths. Okay, do this. All right, so let's minus off 500. Okay, so if I minus off 500, I will get 1,950. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. If let's say I have 1,949, and if I round it off to the nearest thousand, what will I, no, so sorry guys, it's not 1,950. This is 1,500. Apologies. Okay, so now if I have 1,499, just one number less, right? And if I were to round this off to the nearest thousand, I'll look at this number, the thousands place, and look at this number here, 4, right? Wouldn't this be 1,400? So once I increase the number just by 1, it's 1,500. From here on, it will round off to 2,000, no matter what number, 1,501, 1,572, 1,568. You round it off to the nearest thousand, you get 2,000, right? Okay, so in this case, we are looking for the greatest possible. So greatest possible, let's add 500. Now we have 2,500. Now, if I were to round off 2,500 to the nearest thousand, I have to look at this number here, 5, right? Wouldn't this be 3,000? So in that case, what is the largest possible number? So this right here gives you a bit of a clue, right? So if I take 2,500 and I minus 1, I will get 2,499. This number right here is your largest possible value, which when you round off to the nearest thousand, you will get 2,000. Clear? Okay, yeah. In fact, some of you in the chat has already given me the answer, which is good. Okay, please copy down and let me know when you're done copying, all right? So we can move on next one. Give you about a minute more. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Okay, so this one requires model drawing. Mavis filled tank A, B, and C, right? With some water. She filled twice as much water in tank A than tank B. Then she filled tank C with 5 times as much water as tank B. All right. So if tank C has 20 liters of water, how much water did tank A have? Okay. So a lot of information here, but let's look at it sentence by sentence. So first sentence, you know, all 3 tanks got water, right? Nothing much to gain from that. Now the second sentence onwards is the more important sentence. Okay. So she filled twice as much water in tank A than tank B. Let's draw a model for this sentence first. So tank A has 2 units and tank B has 1 unit. Okay, draw that first. Tank A, tank B. Okay. Please draw with a ruler, right? It's better. Don't freehand. Okay, now let's read the next sentence. Then she filled tank C with 5 times as much water as tank B, which means tank C is 5 times more than tank B, right? So if you look at this question here, tank B is 1 unit. So tank C has to be how many units? Can you type in the chat? If tank B is 1 unit, tank C will be, yep, correct, 5 units. So let's draw for 5 units. Don't have to be so accurate, but just draw something that looks decent, all right? So 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 units, 5 units. Just to play safe, you can put U inside, okay? Units. Okay, then now let's go and read the last sentence. If tank C has 20 liters of water, how much water did tank A have? Okay, look at tank C. So I want you to put down the info, 20 liters. Very important, put this in the model, okay? Put here 20 liters. Okay, so once you're done, count the number of units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 5 units is 20 liters. So 1 unit is 20 liters divided by 5, which is 4 liters. So the question is asking how much water did tank A have, right? So tank A, so make sure you put your model what you want to find. Okay, so put that question mark there. So you want to find for 2 units. So it's 4 liters times 2, which equals to 8 liters. Therefore, how much water did tank A have? Tank A had 8 liters. Okay, so I must write down. Tank A had 8 liters. That's all. Okay, so for those of you who give 4 liters as the answer, right? Make sure you read the question carefully. They're asking for tank A, not tank B. Okay, so I must take 4 times 2. It's pretty easy. Okay. Okay, so if you're done, let's go to question number 3. Okay, Raju had twice as many books as Jenny, right? After Jenny bought another 45 books, she now has twice as many books as Raju. Okay, so this kind of question here, right? I want you to write this at the side. Observe the person or item who or which did not change. Please write this down. Then once you write this right, go ahead and highlight or underline this one. Did not change. Okay, so let's draw a model for the first sentence. Raju had twice as many books as Jenny. So this is Raju, it's 2 units. Then Jenny is simply 1 unit. Okay, now let's read the next sentence. After Jenny bought another 45 books, she now has twice as many books as Raju. Now, from this question here, remember what I told you to observe? So can you tell me who did not change? Okay, type in the chat, who did not change? What about the rest? Yeah, most of you are correct. Correct. Okay. So now, right, you know that Raju did not change. Okay, so I'm going to write down here as Raju. He had 2 weeks. So read carefully. If after Jenny bought another 45 books, she now has twice as many books as Raju, right? Okay. So now I'm only focused on this sentence here, which I just bracketed. She now has twice as many books. Most of you told me that Raju did not change, right? So in this case, Jenny, if Raju did not change and still have 2 units, and Jenny now has twice as much as Raju, what is the units Jenny has now? Can you type in the chat? This person never changed, right? And Jenny now has twice, correct? So if twice of Raju now will be how many units? Yeah, correct. 4 units, right? 2 times 2. Okay, I'll do the working for you a bit. Write down 2 units times 2, you get 4 units. So which means after buying 45 books, Jenny now has 4 units, right? Okay, so I'm going to put this here as 45. Put here 45. Okay, class, can you tell me how many units is 45 then? So you guys told me that now Jenny has 4 units, right? If you read the question at first, Jenny has only 1 unit. But so after adding 45, Jenny became 4 units, right? Which means how many units is the 45? So what you're going to do is to take 4 units minus the 1 unit. You will get 3 units. Okay, which means the 3 units is the 45. So write down 3 units, 45. So now you know that 3 units is 45, the question becomes a lot easier. How many books does Raju have? Raju at the start 2, at the end also 2 units, right? So go and find for 2 units. So 1 unit will be 45 divided by 3. go into your working. What is 45 divided by 3? So 1 times 3 is 3. Bring it down. 5 times 3 is 15. Minus it off, 0. So proceed to find for 2 units, which is 15 times 2 equals to 30. Okay, so this question clear now on how to do? All right, perfect. Okay, so now we're done with level 2 type of questions. Okay, so now we're going to go to level 3 type of questions. So I'll just give you a little heads up, right? For level 3, okay, it's mostly how you visualize your model. That's it. So I'm going to show you, right? So let's look at the next question, which is the level 3 question. So this question here, it's mostly visualizing, and I'll show you how. Okay. So Ling has thrice as many stems as city. Okay. Ling has thrice as many stems as city, right? So I want you to draw the 3 units and 1 unit just a bit bigger, okay? Don't draw too small, just a bit bigger. Big enough for you to visualize properly. Okay, so Ling has 3 units. Okay, I'll probably draw somewhere like this, of this magnitude, so it's easier to see and visualize because it's 1 unit. Okay, 1 unit. This is 2 unit. Okay. This is Ling and this is city. Okay, now, right, from Ling gave 51 stems to city. So how are we going to show this in the model? So when you're cutting something from a model, you always put dotted lines. Okay, so put 51. So you're going to cut this away and you're going to transfer this over to city. So when you're drawing a model like this, right, make sure you go around, okay? Please don't do this like that, because later you need to draw some parts here, okay? So you need space over here, right? So just take some time, go around it, and put it over here, like that, okay? All right, so like I said, when you're cutting, you put dotted lines. When you're adding, you put a concrete block like that. Okay. Okay, maybe I'll just draw this a little bit bigger. The same 51 goes there. Okay, put here 51. Okay, so now you got a pencil, right? I hope you all drew this in pencil. So using that same pencil, I want you to shade lightly what happened in the end. So in the end, 51 is gone from Ling, right? So just shade lightly how much Ling has at the end. Up till here, right? Okay, shade it. Okay. Next, can you shade for city? So city now what has 51 more. So you got to shade 51 as well. Okay, now the question tells you that Ling in the hand has 34 stems more than city. So can you underline in the end? In the end, underline it. So in your model, the in the end part is the shaded region. In my model, is the green shaded region, okay? So from here up till here. This part here is 34. Okay, so in your model, right, don't erase the arrow, but I am going to erase the arrow. But in your model, please don't change. Okay. Now remember earlier on I told you, right, this whole thing is about visualization here, right? So I want you to visualize this part here, okay? So I'm going to use a much thicker line here. Give me a second, hold on. Just to show the color. Okay. Now if you look at this part here, right, what do you guys exactly see? Okay, I give you another hint. From here till here. What is the value over here? Can you all type in the chat? Yes, correct. Well done, well done. Okay, see, 51, show you, 51 plus 34 over here, and 51 again. Can you all see it? So write down 51 plus 34 plus 51 again. This will give you a grand total of 136. Now, can I ask the class, how many units is 136? Okay, so I'm going to put this here now. This is 136. This is 51. So I think here's 34. This is 51 as well. Okay, how many units is 136 then? Yep. What about the rest? Just by looking at it, come on. See, how many units is 136? Look at it. Yep. Okay, very good. So 2 units is 136. Good. So go and find out for 1 unit. 1 unit is 136 divided by 2. Yeah, 136 divided by 2, you get you 68. Okay, now look at the question here. Find the number of stamps Ling had in the end. In the end, right? Okay, so now I'm going to erase the 136 part here. Now, in the end, right, if you look at the model, is my green shaded portion here, correct? How do I arrive at the green shaded portion here? Okay. There are many ways you can do this. Okay. So this is 68. Correct? This is 68. You can simply take 68 plus 51 plus 34 equals to 153. Or another method, you can go and find out for 3 units here. This whole 3 units, which is 68 times 3. Which is 204. Then 204, she gave away 51, right? So 204 minus 51, you'll also get 153. Either method is correct. Okay, do you all prefer method 1 or method 2? Can you type in the chat? Oh. Cool. Okay, I see a nice split between 1 and 2, all right? So choose whichever is comfortable for you and do it, okay? Personally, if you ask me, I like method 2 a bit more. but method 1 is fine too, right? Okay. Let's go to question 2. All right, this one. Okay, so before I go on to question 2, right, I want to point out something to you, okay? It's a very common misconception. This has 2 lines here, this has 1 line here, right? Okay, this does not mean that this is 2 units, this is 1 unit. No, that's wrong, okay? I repeat again, 2 lines, 1 line means that it does not mean that this is 2 units, 1 unit. No, not at all, okay? What this means, right, okay, is trying to tell you that this line here and this line here, they are equal, that's all. It's trying to point out to you that this line here and this line here are equal. Then a double line here, right? This line here and this line here are equal. That's it. Simple as that. Okay? Not 2 units, 1 unit. Okay. Okay. So let's read this question here. This one is a little bit hard, right? Square A has an area of 121 cm square and the whole perimeter here is 68 cm square. Okay. Okay, guys, can you type in the chat what do you all know about the square? What do you all know about the square? Equal sides, same sides, all sides are equal. Yep, correct. So if I were to ask you to find the area of a square, you said equal sides means, right? So area is length times breadth. But in the case of a square, it's the same number times the same number, correct? Yes? Okay, so what I want you to always do whenever you see area of a square, right, like that, okay, I want you to write inside 1 times 1 equals to 1. 2 times 2 equals to 4. 3 times 3 equals to 9. 4 times 4 equals to 16. 5 times 5 equals to 25. 6 times 6 equals to 36. Keep going. 7 times 7 equals to 49. 8 times 8 equals to 64. Okay, so in this case, the area is 121 cm square, right? So which means 121 cm square, which means the number here and the number here has to be the same number, correct? Same number times same number will give you the area of a square, which is 121. So let's keep going. 9 times 9, 81. 10 times 10 equals to 100. Okay, why this is a little bit hard? Because there's one more. 11 times 11. What's 11 times 11? Yep, 121 cm squared. Therefore, the side of this square here is 11 cm. 11 cm. Okay, why this is very useful, right? It's because let's see if they tell you 64 cm squared. You can immediately go and trace out where 64, then go and find out the side straight away. Okay, it's very important, this one. Okay. Now they see that this part here, right, this whole figure here has a perimeter of 68 cm. Okay, so wherever we can put 11 cm, let's put 11 cm, shall we? Okay, so let's put here 11 cm. And this is 11 cm. Okay, now we do not know what the length of this is, correct? This part here. Yeah, and we do not know what is the length of this part here. Neither do we know the length over here and the length over here. Okay, but what we know is that this length here, right, is the same as this length here, like we just discussed earlier on, correct? This length is the same as this length. And if this length is here, this length has to be the same length as this length, correct? And this length has to be the same as this length, correct? So I'm going to put this 1 unit here, just a unit. This is a unit here. This is a unit here. This is a unit here. Okay, so I just proved to you, right? If this is 11 cm, doesn't mean that this is half of this, no. Okay, so unit, 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 they're the same length here. So I want you to quickly draw a model here, right? So now we are talking about perimeter. So 11 cm plus 11 cm plus 11 cm plus 11 cm will give you 11 cm plus 11 plus 11 plus 11. It will give you 44 cm, right? So in your model, can you put 44 cm? So what we are left is to add this, right? 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 units. So write down here 4 units. The total of this will give you the perimeter. Which is 68 cm. Okay, so how do we find the 4 units then? You take 68 cm minus 44 cm. So this gives you 24 cm. Okay, so which means 4 units is 24 cm. So 1 unit will be 24 divided by 4, which equals to 6 cm. Okay, which means all this here, right, this 1 unit here, they were all 6 cm. So put it down, 6. All right then, so find the area of rectangle D. So area of rectangle D equals to length times breadth, which is 11 cm times 6 cm, which equals to 66 cm squared. Okay, clear so far? All right. Okay. Give you about a minute more to copy. All right, perfect. Okay. Okay, so lesson recap. So what you've done today was level 1, 2, and 3 type of problem sum questions. Okay, these problem sums are trending, means currently it's being recycled across different schools. Okay, all right then. So your upcoming assessment includes your year-end examination, right? Okay, so the whole point of this is to tell you that time is limited now. So now is a good time to bridge all your learning gaps and revisit all the major topics. Okay. So I understand that for primary 5, right, it's called SA2, means that it is an official exam, but for primary 3 and 4, there'll be a weighted assessment. Okay, so this will be done during the PSLE marking week, all right? So what we're offering you is a bootcamp class, okay? So primary 5 students will be taking your year-end exams, and there'll be a lot of disruptions due to COVID. And for primary 3 and 4, your exams will be exempted, but they don't call it SA2, okay? They call it weighted assessment. Okay, long story short, right, your weighted assessment is still considered an exam, okay? It is still something that's serious, okay? So the question that we like to pose to you is there enough time for you to revise now? And what you can do to help yourselves, all right? So we are here to tell you that time is limited and we are offering you a SA2 final revision bootcamp, okay? So what we just did today will be exemplified even more across these 2 days. So it'll be on the 20th and the 21st of October. It will start at 10 a.m. and ends at 1 p.m. So what will be covered is all the major topics that you've learned from term 1 all the way till term 4, okay? We'll revisit all the common misconceptions and we will teach you all the strategies that we have done so far to improve your grades within a short period of time. So before you leave, right, please take down this link. Okay. All right. So I'm going to send it to you in the chat. So please take it down. Oh, now it's called SA3. Okay, now they're all just little fancy terms. Right. Okay, so look at the link that I just sent to you all. Just take a moment. Okay, I sent it to everyone, right? Okay, great. So when you click on that link, right, there is primary 5, primary 4, primary 3. Okay, just go and click on those. Okay, so over here, right, will be all the topics that we will cover for primary 5, all the topics that we'll cover for primary 4, all the topics that we will cover for primary 3. So you just have to scroll down, key in your name and particulars, and we will attend to you within 1 working day. All right. So I repeat again, just go and look through the website, click on which level you are in and click your particulars and we'll attend to you within 1 working day. All right then. So all the best to you all. So if you want to register for 2022 program, please go to this website here, which I will send it to you as well. Just give me a moment. Okay. All right, please take down the website. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you for joining. See you all soon. All right, take care. Good night.